At some point in your life, you awaken in the dawn and glance around to discover everything recognizable. The identical walls, the identical countenances, the identical sounds. But you sense as if you're positioned behind dense glass dividing you from the world. It's a profound sense of estrangement, as if you don't belong in this place. Have you ever questioned yourself? Why do I experience this emptiness even though my existence is abundant? Why am I seeking something I don't understand what it is? Perhaps you believed the issue was within you, that you were distinct, imperfect, or incapable of adjusting to this world like others do. Peace, compassion, and blessings of God be upon you. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we'll travel together into the depths of this sensation that disturbs so many of us. We'll reveal a great mystery disclosed to us by Rumi centuries ago, the mystery of sacred estrangement. Rumi states, "You are not merely a droplet in the ocean, you are the complete ocean in a droplet." These words contain a golden key to comprehending what you experience. Your estrangement isn't a flaw, it's a signal from your spirit telling you that you recall your authentic home. Consider with me, a migratory bird experiences a strange restlessness before its journey, not understanding the reason, but something within calls it toward its destination. You are identical. Your spirit remembers its origin, the source from which it emerged, and this is what makes you sense you don't belong to this temporary, material realm. Your sensation of estrangement isn't a deficiency, it's a sacred recollection residing in your depths. It's the memory of this primordial agreements when you were in the presence of absolute love before you descended into this world. Rumi calls this the intoxication of remembrance, that moment when your spirit recalls the beauty of the original source. When you explore this sensation of estrangement, you'll discover it's not merely a passing melancholy or a vague yearning, it's the anguish of cosmic separations. Rumi describes this by saying, "The reed flute mourns since it was severed from the reed bed." This example isn't merely beautiful poetry, it's an accurate diagnosis of your spiritual condition. Envision you are a fragment of light that separated from its original source and was dispatched to this material world to live a temporary experience. Your spirit holds a hidden memory of that original radiance. This is where your constant craving for something you can't clearly define originates. I've experienced this journey myself, and I understand how lost you can feel in the midst of this hidden anguish. I'd awaken on many nights sensing as if something important had been lost, but I didn't understand what. I searched for it in books, in relationships, in accomplishments, but that emptiness always returned. Then I discovered that this emptiness isn't something to be filled with external things, but a sacred space to be explored. Rumi teaches us that the wound is the place where the radiance enters. This anguish you experience isn't a punishment, it's an invitation to return to your spiritual home. In Sufism, we call this annihilation in divine love, that state where you taste the flavor of unity with the source. But before you reach this state, you must traverse the stages of anguish, yearning, and seeking. These stages aren't torment, they are purification and preparation for the great reunion. Whenever you experience that estrangement, remember, it's a message from your spirit telling you, don't forget where you originated, and don't forget where you're returning. It's not a flaw in you, it's a sign of nobility, proof that your heart is still alive and connected to the Supreme Source. There are moments in our lives when we sense as if time halts, as if something hidden touches our depths and reminds us of something forgotten. It might be a sunset, the sound of moving music, or even a fleeting fragrance that suddenly transports you back to a state you can't describe in words. These moments aren't coincidences. They are small windows opening to the sea primordial memory. Rumi describes this experience with a beautiful phrase, "You are seeking the treasure, but the treasure is also seeking you." This means your sensation of estrangement isn't a one-sided search, it's a cosmic dialogue between your spirit and its source. The longing you experience is the echo of a divine call beckoning you home. In Sufi traditions, we speak of the covenant of last, that sacred moment before creation when God asked all spirits, "Am I not your Lord?" And all spirits unanimously replied, "Yes." This covenant is inscribed in the depths of every spirit and is the source of that yearning that never leaves us. Consider this spiritual practice. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Then, Ask yourself, what is the thing I'm missing without understanding what it is? Don't seek a rational answer. Just let the sensation flow in your chest. This sensation is your spirit's language, trying to tell you about your original home. Many individuals try to silence this voice by keeping busy, seeking distractions, and accumulating things and achievements. But Rumi warns us, don't sell yourself cheaply, for you are worth the entire world. This means that attempting to fill the spiritual void with material things or worldly accomplishments is like trying to quench the ocean's thirst with a cup of water. The truth is, your spirit isn't seeking something that can be obtained or acquired. It's seeking a state of being, a state of unity, connection, and limitless love. This state exists in your depths right now, but it's covered by layers of forgetfulness, busyness, and fear. So, how do we return to that spiritual home our spirits yearn for? Rumi provides us a clear roadmap, but it requires courage, patience, and a willingness to release everything we think defines us. He states, "You are not merely a body, mind, and personality. You are the spirit that dwells within." The first step on this journey is to acknowledge that your estrangement is real and justified. Don't try to deny it, ignore it, or distract yourself from it. Instead, embrace it as you would a sorrowful child and say, "I hear you, I understand, and I will help you return home." The second step is to practice what Rumi calls sacred stillness. In a world full of noise and busyness, finding time for stillness is a revolutionary act. Stillness isn't the absence of sound, it's the presence of the spirit. In stillness, you begin to hear your authentic inner voice, the voice of wisdom that knows the way home. The third practice is to engage in spiritual remembrance. Rumi states, "Remember that you emerge from the unseen world." This doesn't mean living in delusions or fantasies, but remembering your spiritual reality amid the preoccupations of daily life. When you awaken in the morning, remember that you're not merely a body that needs food and water. You also need spiritual nourishment. Rumi emphasizes the importance of divine love as a bridge to return. This isn't limited romantic love, but love that encompasses everything and excludes no one. It begins with loving your authentic self, not with selfishness or arrogance, but by appreciating the spirit that dwells within you and respecting its journey. One of Rumi's most beautiful sayings is, "Sell your cleverness and purchase bewilderment." This means that the thinking mind, despite its importance, cannot solve the mystery of existence on its own. Sometimes we need to release the need to understand everything and allow sacred bewilderment to guide us to new spaces of knowledge and experience. And now, in this very moment, I want you to close your eyes and place your hand on your heart. Feel its steady rhythm, this beat that hasn't stopped since you were born. This rhythm isn't merely a physical function, it's your spirit's song. It's a constant reminder that life flows through you, in you, and to you. Rumi states in one of his most beautiful poems, "Don't be sorrowful, for everything is unfolding as it should." These words aren't a call for blind submission or resigned surrender. They are an invitation to deep trust in the cosmic wisdom that governs our lives. Even your estrangement, even your anguish, even your sensation of being lost, all of this is part of a sacred journey leading you to the discovery of your authentic self. Don't be afraid of your anguish. Don't flee from your estrangement. Don't try to silence your yearning with false distractions. Instead, approach them with an open heart and say, "I am prepared to learn. I am prepared to grow. I am prepared to return to who I truly am." This courage to face yourself is the first step on the path home. I know many of you sense something stirring deep within you right now. Something that declares, "Yes, this is what I've been seeking. This is what I've been experiencing without being able to name it." This sensation is the voice of your spirit saying, "Finally, you're listening to me. Finally, you see what I want you to see." If this content touches something in your heart, if it helps you understand yourself more deeply, please like and subscribe. Our message is to help as many individuals as possible discover their spiritual reality, and you are an important part of this message. Now, I want you to write this sentence in the comments: "My spirit remembers its original home." Write it as a sacred confession, as a declaration of your readiness to begin this journey, as a promise to yourself that you will not ignore the voice of your spirit anymore. My friend, you are not alone on this journey. Millions of individuals around the world experience the same estrangement, the same yearning, the same desire to return to something greater and more beautiful. We are all travelers on the same path, and we are all seeking the same home. There's another realm that opens its doors to you every night without you knowing it, the realm of dreams and visions. Rumi believed that sleep isn't merely rest for the body, but a daily journey the spirit takes to other dimensions. He states, "Sleep is a taste of death, and death is a taste of authentic life. When you sleep, your spirit enters a state of relative liberation from the constraints of the mind and body. In this state, you can connect with deeper layers of consciousness, with your cosmic memory, with messages and signs from the unseen realm. This is why you sometimes have dreams that leave a deep impression on you, dreams that feel more real than reality itself." Rumi teaches us there are 3 types of dreams: dreams of the egos, which are a reflection of our daily fears and desires; then dreams of the subconscious, which are the psyche's attempts to process and organize accumulated experiences; and finally, dreams of the spirits, which are the rarest and most deeply impactful. How do you distinguish between these types? Dreams of the spirit have unique characteristics. They remain clear in your memory for years. They carry a sense of serenity and radiance. They sometimes involve encounters with wise or holy individuals, and they leave a lasting positive effect on your life. These dreams are spiritual gifts, lessons that reach you from unseen teachers. The practice I recommend: start recording your dreams immediately upon awakening. Keep a notebook and pen next to your bed and record everything you remember, no matter how strange or illogical it seems. Over time, you'll start to notice recurring patterns and messages. This is the language your spirit is using to try and communicate with you. Rumi also states, "Don't sleep to escape from life, but sleep to receive the gifts of the night." This means that sleep should be a sacred time, a time we dedicate to spiritual learning and growth. Before you sleep, ask your spirit to show you what you need to understand, to guide you to the right path, to answer your deep questions. But remember that the language of dreams is symbolic, not literal. Rumi likens it to poetry. It requires an open heart and strong intuition to understand its deep meanings. Sometimes a dream that seems frightening carries a message of liberation, and sometimes a dream that seems beautiful carries a gentle warning. One of Rumi's deepest teachings is that love isn't merely an emotion or a fleeting sensation. It's a cosmic force, a sacred energy that connects everything in existence to everything else. This means that love isn't merely something we do or experience. It's our fundamental reality, the essence of who we are. But what happens when we lose connection with this love, when our hearts become closed due to wounds, disappointments, and fears? This is where the authentic journey of estrangement begins. Not estrangement from a place or individuals, but estrangement from our ability to love and sense loved. Rumi describes a wounded heart as a broken cup trying to hold water. The more we try to fill it with love, the more it leaks through the cracks. But here lies a great secret. The cracks themselves can become windows for new radiance to enter. He states, "The wound is the place where the radiance enters." So, how do we heal our hearts and reopen them to love? The path begins with forgiveness. Not merely forgiving others, but forgiving ourselves first. How much time have we wasted blaming ourselves for past mistakes, for wrong decisions, for words we spoke or didn't speak? This inner blame is the biggest obstacle on the path back to love. The spiritual practice. Sit in a quiet place and place your hands on your heart. Breathe deeply and say to yourself, "I forgive myself for everything in the past. I love myself as the Creator loves me. I deserve love, happiness, and peace." Repeat these words until you sense a warmth spread through your chest. This warmth is the return of love to your heart. Rumi reminds us that authentic love knows no conditions or limits. He states, "Love as the sun loves, without distinction, without waiting for a return, without fear of running out." This type of love isn't weakness. It's the most powerful force in the universe. It's the love that heals wounds, breaks down barriers, and reconnects the spirit with its source. But authentic love requires courage. The courage to release the need for control. The courage to trust that the universe is working for our benefit. The courage to remain open even when we are afraid of being hurt. Rumi states, "Sell your fear and purchase love." In Sufi traditions, there is a sacred practice called dhikr, which is not merely the repetition of words or supplications, but a state of complete presence, a state of constant remembrance of the divine truth that resides in everything. Rumi was a master of this art and reached levels of consciousness that few individuals have ever attained. Rumi states, "Remember God so much that individuals say you are mad." This doesn't mean literal madness, but a state of divine intoxication that transcends the ordinary understanding of the limited mind. It's a state of spiritual drunkenness where the boundaries between the self and the universe, between the lover and the beloved. How do we enter this state? The path begins with absolute simplicity. Choose a word or phrase that holds a deep meaning for you. It could be Allah, peace, love, or any of the beautiful names of God. Start repeating it gently as you breathe deeply. Don't try to do anything else except be present with this word, with its meaning, with the energy it carries. Over time, you'll notice that the word begins to remember itself, meaning it becomes present in your consciousness without you making an effort to recall it. This is the beginning of the blessed state where dhikr becomes spontaneous, flowing through your veins like blood, becoming an inseparable part of your breath and heartbeat. Rumi poetically describes the stages of dhikr. First, you remember God with your tongue, then with your heart, then with your spirit, and finally, God remembers you. Basan. This final stage is the highest state of spiritual consciousness, where you sense as if the entire universe is remembering you, embracing you, loving you with boundless love. But don't worry if you don't reach these higher stages immediately. The spiritual path requires patience, perseverance, and self-compassion. The important thing is to start, to dedicate a daily time to this practice, even if it's only 5 minutes at first. Rumi affirms that dhikr is not merely a spiritual practice, but a way to change the nature of our consciousness, to cleanse the heart from accumulated rust and dust, to open the channels of communication between our inner realm and the divine dimension. He states, dhikr is like a polisher that removes rust from the mirror of the heart so that it can reflect the beauty of truth. And now, after this entire journey into the depths of Rumi's teachings, let me share a secret with you that may change your perspective on yourself and on life forever. This secret is simple in its words, but deep in its effect. You have never lost anything. Everything you are seeking, everything you yearn for, everything you think you've lost, is right here inside you, in this very moment. Rumi expresses this by saying, "You are seeking yourself everywhere, and you are closer to yourself than your own jugular vein." This isn't a poetic metaphor, it's a cosmic truth. All the love you're seeking exists in your heart. All the peace you yearn for resides in your spirit. All the wisdom you need is stored in your depths. But why don't we sense this? Why do we continue to seek outside for what's inside? The answer lies in what Rumi calls the veils of forgetfulness, those layers of thoughts, sensations, memories, and fears that have accumulated on the mirror of our spirit over the years, obscuring our original beauty and authentic radiance. The process of spiritual healing is the process of removing these veils one by one, not with force or violence, but with love, patience, and wisdom. Every time you practice dhikr, every time you meditate in stillness, every time you forgive yourself or others, you remove a layer of these veils. The final practice I'll share with you today is a practice to discover your inner radiance. Sit in a dim place and close your eyes. Breathe deeply and imagine there is a small flame of radiance at the center of your chest. This radiance has been there since you were born, even since your spirit was created. With every inhale, imagine this radiance growing and expanding. With every exhale, imagine it sending its rays to every part of your body. Experience the warmth of this radiance, its serenity, its unconditional love for you. This radiance isn't something you're imagining, it's your fundamental reality, the essence of who you are. Rumi states, "You are not a point of radiance, you are the entire radiance in a point." Practicing this exercise daily will help you remember who you truly are. It will restore your confidence in your inner beauty. It will remind you that everything you need for happiness and peace is already in your depths, just waiting for you to discover and awaken to it. And so, we reached the conclusion of our journey today, but in reality, it's not a conclusion, but a new beginning. Every word we've spoken, every idea we've shared, every practice we've engaged in together has been a small key to opening a big door in your depths, a door that may have been closed for years, covered in dust and forgetfulness, but has always been waiting for this moment, the moment of your return. To it, Rumi states in his final poems, "I came, I saw, I loved, I returned home." This is the story of every human spirit. We came to this world from the unseen dimension. We saw, we learned, we experienced life with all its beauty and anguish. We loved, we were wounded, we healed, and in the end, we'll return to our original source, wiser, more mature, and more beautiful than we were when we began the journey. But the secret Rumi revealed to us today is that we don't need to wait for death to return home. Home exists here and now, in the depths of our hearts, in the stillness of our spirits, in those rare moments when we stop seeking outside and look inside. In those moments, we remember who we truly are. We sense the serenity that doesn't depend on external circumstances. We experience the love that needs no justifications or conditions. Your sensation of estrangement, then, wasn't a flaw, a deficiency, or a sign that something was wrong with you. It was a sacred call from your spirit, a love letter from the deepest part of you, reminding you that you are bigger, more beautiful, and greater than you think. That you're not merely a body walking on the earth, but an eternal spirit living a temporary experience in this material realm. From now on, whenever you experience that familiar estrangement, remember Rumi's words, "The stranger is the one from whom the sun of truth has set." Don't let the sun of your truth set on you. Every morning, in every moment of stillness, with every deep breath, ask for this sun to rise again in the sky of your consciousness. You are not a stranger in this world. You are an ambassador of heaven on earth. You are a droplet from the divine ocean that came to experience itself in different forms. You are a musical note in the great symphony of creation. Your return to home is not a journey to another place, but an awakening to who you are, here and now. Welcome home, beloved. You have been here all along. Now, as we reach the culmination of this profound journey with Rumi's wisdom, I must reveal something that will transform your understanding even more deeply. The sacred estrangement we've explored today, this feeling of being separated from your spiritual home, is intimately connected to a more immediate physical manifestation that countless souls experience daily, the sensation of trapped energy within the chest, the feeling of being unable to breathe freely even when there's nothing medically wrong. In our previous exploration, we journeyed into the revolutionary teachings of Sheikh Ibn Arabi, who unveiled the hidden mechanics of how spiritual disconnection manifests as physical constriction in our bodies. While Rumi showed us the cosmic reason for our estrangement, the soul's memory of its divine origin, Ibn Arabi provided the practical roadmap for addressing its most pressing symptom, the suffocating feeling that grips so many hearts in our modern world. You see, the sacred estrangement Rumi describes isn't just a beautiful spiritual concept. It has real, tangible effects on your daily experience. When your spirit remembers its original home but finds itself trapped in patterns of fear and forgetfulness, this creates what Ibn Arabi identified as blocked energy that literally compresses in your chest, making it difficult to breathe, creating anxiety, and generating that persistent sense that something vital is missing from your life. Ibn Arabi's profound insight was that the spiritual void Rumi spoke of doesn't remain abstract. It becomes embodied, creating physical sensations that can be addressed through specific practices of energy liberation. While Rumi gave us the why of our spiritual condition, Ibn Arabi provided the how of its healing. His teachings reveal that the glass barrier you feel separating you from life, the heaviness in your chest that Rumi's poetry so beautifully describes, can actually be dissolved through understanding the intricate relationship between trapped emotions, blocked energy, and spiritual awakening. This connection is crucial because many people resonate deeply with Rumi's description of sacred estrangement, but remain puzzled about why they continue to feel physically constricted, emotionally heavy, and energetically blocked despite understanding their spiritual nature. Ibn Arabi bridges this gap by showing us that spiritual realization must be accompanied by energetic liberation. That knowing you are the entire ocean in a droplet is only the beginning. You must also learn to release the accumulated barriers that prevent you from experiencing this truth in your body. your breath, and your daily life. The practices Ibn Arabi developed 8 centuries ago offer immediate, tangible relief for the symptoms of spiritual disconnection that Rumi so eloquently mapped. Where Rumi inspires us to remember our true nature, Ibn Arabi teaches us to embody it. Where Rumi helps us understand why we feel estranged, Ibn Arabi shows us how to return not just to spiritual awareness, but to the free-flowing energy that makes that awareness livable and sustainable. If Rumi's words have stirred something deep within you today, if you recognize yourself in his description of sacred estrangement, then Ibn Arabi's complementary teachings will provide the missing piece that transforms this beautiful understanding into practical transformation. Because spiritual awakening without energetic freedom remains incomplete, like understanding you have wings but never learning to fly. Don't let this moment of recognition pass without completing the picture. The previous video about Ibn Arabi's energy liberation methods isn't just recommended viewing, it's the essential next step for anyone who has felt the truth of Rumi's teachings but yearns for the practical tools to live them. Your chest tightness, your feeling of being trapped behind glass, your sense of spiritual homesickness. All of these have solutions that Ibn Arabi pioneered and that remain as relevant today as they were 800 years ago. The journey home that Rumi mapped so beautifully requires both the recognition of your true spiritual nature and the practical skills to clear the energetic obstacles that prevent you from embodying it. Watch that previous video not as a separate teaching, but as the vital companion to everything we've discovered together today. Your complete liberation, both spiritual and energetic, awaits at the intersection of these two profound wisdoms.